While admiring a bright red rose blooming during a white winter, Queen Eleanor of Tabor pricks her finger on its thorns. 3 drops of blood fall onto the snow, and she wishes for a daughter with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, hair as black as a raven's wings, and a heart as strong as the rose. The queen gives birth to Snow White but falls ill and dies many years later. After her death, Snow White's father, King Magnus, and his army battle an invading army of glass soldiers. King Magnus finds a prisoner called Ravenna, becomes enchanted with her beauty and marries her the next day. Ravenna is in fact a powerful sorceress who used the false glass army to charm her way into the kingdom. On their wedding night, she confesses that there was a king much like Magnus that used her, hurt her, then discarded her. She kills him before taking over the kingdom. Snow White's childhood friend William and his father, Duke Hammond, escape but are unable to rescue her, and she is locked away in a tower for years. Ravenna does not know why she allowed Snow White to live, but has a feeling about her. Tabor and its people deteriorate under Queen Ravenna's rule. She periodically drains the youth from the kingdom's young women in order to maintain a spell cast over her as a child by her mother, which allows Ravenna to keep her youthful beauty. When Snow White comes of age, Ravenna learns from her magic mirror that Snow White is destined to destroy her unless she consumes the girl's heart, which will make her immortal. Ravenna sends her brother Finn to bring her the princess, but Snow White escapes into the dark forest, where Ravenna has no power. The queen makes a bargain with Eric the huntsman, a widower and drunkard, to capture her, promising to bring his wife back to life in exchange. However, when Finn reveals that Ravenna does not actually have the power to revive the dead, the huntsman helps Snow White escape. The Duke and William learn that Snow White is alive, so William leaves the castle to find her, joining Finn's group as a bowman. Snow White saves the huntsman's life by charming a troll that attacks them. They make their way to a fishing village populated by women who have disfigured themselves to make themselves useless to Ravenna. The huntsman learns Snow White's true identity, and leaves her in the care of the women. He quickly returns when he sees the village being burned down by Finn's men. Snow White and the huntsman evade them and meet a band of 8 dwarfs. The blind dwarf, Muir, perceives that Snow White is the only person who can end Ravenna's reign. As they travel through a fairy sanctuary, they are attacked by Finn and his men. A battle ensues during which Finn, his men, and one of the dwarfs are killed. William joins the group on their journey to Hammond's castle. Ravenna disguises herself as William and tempts Snow White into eating a poisoned apple before fleeing. William kisses Snow White, though nothing happens. A single tear is shed from her eye. Snow White's body is taken to Hammond's castle. The huntsman professes his regret for being unable to save her, as her heart and strength remind him of his wife, Sarah. He kisses her yet does not notice a second tear fall from her eyes, as 2 kisses of true love break the spell. Snow White awakens and rallies the Duke's army to mount a siege against Ravenna. The dwarfs infiltrate the castle through the sewers and open the gates, allowing the army inside. Snow White and Ravenna fight. When Ravenna is about to kill her, Snow White uses a move the huntsman taught her and stabs her to death in the heart. The kingdom once again enjoys peace as Snow White is crowned the new Queen of Tabor.